Okay. Amazing, isn't it? Collectively, the human race is psychotically broken. Individually, there's many people who do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And online and what people call real life is no exception. But it's not real life versus the internet. The internet is an extension of the real world. So it can be as dysfunctional in some ways. And I don't take shit from people. I don't take it gladly. I don't take prisoners. Although there's some conduct out there in person to person uh, interactions that need to come into play. This is amazing. What happened today at work was utterly comical, but scary for some people, scary for customers. What I did today was have to physically push a customer out the shop. I had no choice to end it with physicality. Not to damage, but to remove them from the shop. Now, I won't go into details where I work, of course, but I get this one out. So, an idiot comes in the shop, tries to buy some Harry Potter stationery set, which is for sale on our sale. Everything's for sale. Of course, it's on the sale. Only £2. It would normally be £8, I think, or some, maybe a bit more. Reasonable set. Got your mod cons, your rulers, your razor set, pens and pencils, and pencil case, things like that with it. It's a little stationery set that is. They're all on the sale, and he comes up with an old currency. It's still the same currency, but it's an old format. That's not legal tender. It's not legal tender anymore. So one of these, £20. Our pounds is like your dollars if you're in America, and American cent would be like a pence. So 100 pence makes £1. £20 make one of these. But there's old, larger paper ones of these that the Royal Mint changed for security reasons, trying to make it less available for possible counterfeiting. And I think they are very secure. I've researched how the new pound coin, relatively new, a couple of years now, is very secure. But people could argue like it could be replicated as exact, because there's arguments for and against. But every currency, every country is out of self-interest to make the currency secure, right, to stop counterfeiting. So I put this through. It gives me a 20, the old currency, the same currency, but the old format, which is no longer legal in shops. We can still apparently get it changed at a bank. And I don't know how true that is still, but regardless of that, I have to find out if the banks refuse them and all. Let's see what happens there. This idiot has been going round the town, from what we can tell, having information from other shops. And he's been trying this on, where give the old £20 note, the paper one, not the plastic one. Try to buy something, and fine on the more simplistic level. Somebody might come along, try to get away with this, try to get rid of it and get the change and use the change for something that they want to buy. And then if they get found out, They say, "Oh, I can't accept this." He's like, "Oh, sorry, is that really one of the old ones? Oh, I didn't know." Try to smooth it over when they really did know. Or sometimes a genuine mistake might happen, but no, he wasn't playing that game. He was playing a game that was extreme stubbornness. Now, this is an individual that looks kind of regimental. Combine regimental mindset with a broken mind. Now you got somebody who is incredibly stubborn, broken-minded, and will not budge no matter what you tell them. This person needs mental therapy, of course. They stunk of alcohol. They came in without it's a requirement to have a thing around your neck if you're exempt from wearing a mask. Denial of the whole COVID thing from the looks of it. Calling because apparently, yeah, if I do this is my mask at work. And I look like, apparently I'm a terrorist because I look like this. You're a terrorist, you got with a black mask on, he says. Calling us names. It started off just in basic denial. It got worse and worse and more aggressive for over a whole hour. And then beyond closing, he would not move. He would not budge. He demanded that he has his purchase of the Harry Potter stationery set. Obviously, he didn't want that. All he wanted was create a scene. Now, with the mask on, I understand that some people are hard of hearing and they might not hear you properly because your voice is slightly more muffled. But he heard me very clear, selectively, every time I spoke to do with his obvious issue that is his fault. He would come up and say, "Oh, I can't. Don't speak to me like that. Blah blah blah. Silly mask. Take your mask off. I can't because of COVID." He heard that. He didn't hear the rest. Bullshit. We seem to have got used to speaking through the mask, and we are very clear. And many times, if I was addressing his stupidity, he would deny he heard me properly at all, demanding to take my mask off. He said the £20 note has got the Queen's face on it, regimental, alright? Got the Queen's face on it. It's legal tender. What a prick. I mean, this is just embarrassing, you know. And claimed that it was issued this morning. The banks do not put out paper notes anymore. The Royal Mint doesn't generate them more. He said something about this is why I got it in my pocket. I said, just because it's in your pocket doesn't mean it was issued this morning. Yes, it was. He knows this is. He knows. He must know that it's not legal tender. He somehow got this. I think, you know, trying to analyse the stupidity that went on today. Somehow got this this fictional storyline that these are an attempt to take over Britain because they're not the old money anymore, along with people apparently looking like terrorists because they got a mask on. In denial of the COVID issue. Had a bag with him. He's been in the shop before, pre-COVID, and he was always a difficult customer. Very arrogant, very ignorant. Like, do you need a bag, sir? Takes the products away from me. Do you need a bag, sir? What do I want a bag for? Okay, thank you. Thanks for your custom today. Walked out. You know, there's always something. very rude, obnoxious, stubborn, stinky alcohol, and he has the same the content of the bag that he came in with. He put it down and he was over an hour childish tantrum in front of the tills, demanding that this is legal tender, get the police involved, and so on. We just had to ask him to leave the shop. He was getting more and more aggressive, louder and louder. Now, I'm not going to reveal where I work, of course, because there's people as dysfunctional as that on the internet, as we know, or worse, socially dysfunctional losers that are emotionally driven, reactive, not proactive, and will not deal with the problems in here and in here, in your heart and mind. Your emotional state, if it becomes a problem for you, it's your problem. Your emotional state is a problem because it's you who puts yourself there. You're responsible for how you react to things. Nobody else is responsible for you. And it's no one's right to tell you that's how to react. But it's your responsibility to react responsibly and fix the bullshit that is going on inside. So I asked him, whatever is wrong with you, go and seek help. Denial, denial, denial. Try and talk over anything I said that would be addressing him as a problem in the shop. But he'd hear anything else I said very clearly. You look fishy. You're a terrorist. You're scum. You are. This is legal tender. You're a criminal. Believe it or not, just mind-blowing. I said, if I was a criminal and a terrorist, we wouldn't be allowed to run a shop in Britain. That's not how Britain works. Blah, 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 blah. I can't hear you through that mask. Very selective hearing. You look fishy. Yeah, I used to keep tropical fish. I kept, everything he said, I would try and take the wind out of his sails by something comical. That black mask, it looked like a terrorist. Well, I got a pink one at home. I thought it was a big girdie, so I didn't want to wear it. I haven't got a pink one. I got a blue one, just over here anyway. And, I was just trying at most best, but he was getting louder and louder. Ring the police. I demand the police come here. This is mind-blowingly comical to some degree. It was very comical in some ways. Very problematic in others. I was getting slightly shaky because it was getting more and more aggressive, abusive, calling the manager a fat bitch, and getting louder and louder and aggressive. Aggressive, not physically, but we didn't know if he would. That's the problem. When you don't know if they're going to get physical when they're that broken. And it was like an alarm bell going off in the background when I was serving customers. I had to say to customers, sorry about the issue we got here. We were trying to sort it. It wasn't not our fault, but you got to say something to them. It's being sorted. Police were rung. Police arrived late because they had trouble getting to the shop due to an accident on the way. They were apologetic over that. Sorry, we couldn't arrive sooner. But, demanded. I want the police. This is unbelievable. Over this simplistic thing, but it wasn't about that. It was about trying to make a scene because of his fictional worldview that he wants to be that he wants to be real, that he demands he's right, isn't comporting with reality, therefore he is wrong. He's in denial that there's anything wrong with him, therefore he continues. I've mentioned this is how this works many times. Denial of what? The problems, the demons inside you. We all have demons inside us. We all fear something. Fear is a mind killer for sure. And as is alcoholism, if that's the word, alcoholism. Again, I was going to say the content of his bag pre-COVID is the same as it was today. As his customer, a couple of bananas and a bunch of bottles of booze, like wine or whatever, about 3 or 4 bottles. Thank you, Emily Jankowski, for the teachings you gave me about, some little tricks here and there on physical ways that don't do harm, but they control and remove people from a situation. So I removed him from the shop very quickly. I appreciate, just made sure he was out of the shop quickly, but made sure he didn't fall over at the time as well. And it worked. The manager had enough. She was doing everything she could. I was doing everything I could. In the past, I've been incredibly impatient. I'm probably one of the most impatient people I know, but I've said before, I've mitigated my own demons pretty much down to a little tiny thing. If I feed these demons, they're only getting bigger out of control. How do you not feed them? Well, you check yourself. You look within and you think those paranoid thoughts through. Is there any proof of this, this, and this? Alright? You're emotional. People are emotional first and then critical thinking second. If you're emotional first, let that be your cue. You're allowed to think critically and analyze. Right? And I'm not trying to say be cold and unemotional. That's not possible. But address things with the higher thinking that we all have. His was obviously broken. So I managed to get him out of the shop. Get him out of the shop, my manager said. Grabbed hold of him, forced him out. Don't think he realised what happened. By the time he was out of the shop, he was looking around and he turned around. He did. And then slowly realised, and he's banging on the door, demanded to come in. Eventually, he walked away. So the police arrived, apologetic and all this, because they couldn't arrive sooner. And described this. It was all over this. That was the fake thing. It wasn't really over the payment of the stationery set. That's not what this was about. It was about him causing a scene because he's a freaking pussy who can't handle the reality of what's going on, despite him being somewhat regimental. There's reasons why I say that. I've talked to this individual many, many years ago. I recognise the face. Regimental is a good word for him because there is some involvement there with military or military knowledge. Right? Big, fat, drunk, ready, big white blazer, straw hat, broken straw hat. And, that bombastic cockiness that is typical of that, 1930s British culture. Just this has got the Queen's face on it. This is legal. You cannot, it didn't matter what the most logical and simplistic obviousness of explanations that went to him, he would talk over and deny or pretend he didn't hear you through the mask. Very selectively, anything relating to that. We went about our business as much as we could possibly do to calm the manager down. It's normally the other way round. The manager said, sort of try to calm me down a little bit here and there, but at the same time it was comical. But there was that thread of potential problematic thing where he could have got physically violent. Which we don't know if he would have or not. That was a problem we didn't know. So I was slightly shaky, but pretty much controlled. I'm going to pop in to work tomorrow and don't need to be in work just to make sure my manager's okay. You look fishy. Yeah, I used to keep tropical fish. Things like that I would keep hammering, keep replying to him, just simplistic things that would take the wind out of his sails. Didn't like that. But the alarm bell kind of thing was like him, like being an alarm bell, like like a car alarm would go off over and over and over. They're too sensitive sometimes. You get that parked car, a cat is sat on it or something, and off it goes, and they go all day until the owner gets back and turns it off. He was like that. You called the police yet? Why haven't you called the police? Despite him being actually told very clearly, we have called the police. I heard my manager very clearly. Very clearly. I could understand it. She wasn't muffled. Don't talk to me through that mask. Remove your mask. Ring the police. Why haven't you rung the police? We had. The police are on their way. And he just kept going over and over. I said to Jess, he knows that, Jess. He's just trying to create a scene. Jess being my manager. It was quite the experience, and I had to be physical today with the customer, and of course head office now have to know that I had to be physical with the customer. Hopefully that'll go in my favour because of the situation, and I think I might have to make a statement tomorrow with the police, but that's okay. At least go through the right pipeline. £20 note, plastic, legal tender, paper notes, not plastic, not legal tender. Get over it. Get over yourself. Stop putting out bullshit money just so you get change for more booze. I think that was the end goal. You thought you could get away with it in a shop that's got a big sale on, perhaps, like it's some kind of car boot sale that can be easily fooled. People are stupid. They really are. Collectively as a race, we are psychotically broken, but individually, there's some brilliant people out there above and beyond things that I could only hope to aspire to. And that's what keeps me going. It's people like that don't keep me going. They have me thinking, what a sad, lonely individual you must be with a problem like that, and you won't bother to fix it. You won't bother to look in yourself and go, what if I'm wrong? Everyone else is telling me I'm wrong, so there must be something to it. But no, instead it's the whole world's fucked. Every single individual, they're all wrong, except for me. I'm always right. That attitude will always create failure. That attitude will always have people avoiding you. That attitude will always have you losing. Losing in everything. Losing finance, losing your health, losing your other people's respect for you, losing friends and so on. Lose, 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 lose. Win, win, win is, oh, I need to fix this because it's upsetting many people. And they don't have any reason to be motivated to go against me other than just how they've reacted to me. They don't have any reason to be in cahoots with each other over some kind of conspiracy against me. Paranoia will destroy you. It will kill your mind and your very existence if you let it grow out of control. And of course, alcoholism does that thing where it gives you the high, but it also gives you that wave point, and on the down point, you get paranoid, depressed, perhaps deluded, confused, depending on how much. And, you know, when you get the hangover in the morning is because, you know, that super headache. It's because your brain's actually shrunk. Why is it shrunk? Because you're dehydrated. Your body is, you know, when you urinate a lot when you're drinking alcohol, because your body's trying to get rid of the toxins. You're losing water. The headache is the brain's pulling the membrane that is attached to the upper level of your skull. That's what the hangover headache is. It's not good for the brain. I like our pint here and there. I uploaded a video recently, very short clip of me drinking my very first pint since the last lockdown or restrictions. We're opening up pubs now to be able to drink outside. And of course, some individuals who can't perhaps deal with the addiction to alcohol will probably hit the drink here and there. But I wonder how many have actually given up drink via lockdowns and restrictions here and there and been fine with it. I wonder how many people are actually improving their knowledge now, being interested in biology. I wonder how many people are interested in biology, how many people are interested in researching how vaccines are made, or actually getting involved actively, being one of the people who are involved with vaccine creation here and there, getting qualified for this. So it swings and roundabouts. But again, I think collectively we are a broken species. But it's things like this get more and more polarized. It's not necessarily a bad thing. The more polarized we get, the smartest people are getting smarter, because they recognize a dire need to being proactive instead of reactive and emotionally based and tribalistic, right? So I thought I'd share that today with you. I think he was pushed out the shop a lot quicker than he. I don't think he realised what happened, and you know, physically, we had no choice. He just would not leave. Demanding over and over, he would not shut up. He was getting really abusive, aggressive, words of slander. We're criminals. Criminals, terrorists, scum, and so on. Mind-blowing. Who loses? He loses. Who wins? We win by doing the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I look forward to doing another video soon. So, here we go. Stop the video. Cheers. Peace out. Bye.